All the top personality. Sorry, there is a technical problem. Before starting the conference, I want to quote few lines of Nobel Prize winner Marie Curie, which I thought to be appropriate for this COVID era. Nothing in life is to be feared; it is only to be understood. Now is the time to understand more, so that we may fear less. A very warm good morning to all. I, Vipin Chandran, Associate Professor, Bombay Hospital College of Nursing, would like to thank you for taking our time and being here today for state level virtual conference, which is based on theme pandemic, a wake up call, a new era in nursing pedagogy. I also very thankful to Professor Dr. M.S. Vinci, Principal, Bombay Hospital College of Nursing, for giving me this opportunity to host this virtual conference. All the top personalities I know are lifelong learners looking for new skill, insight, and ideas. Today, we have a splendid presence of great personality, and we are fortunate enough they are with us as a speaker. For this, I would like to call upon Professor Dr. M.S. Vinci, Principal, Bombay Hospital College of Nursing, for the opening of the theme of conference. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Vipin. First of all, I would like to express my gratitude to all the speakers who have given their concern to mark a success to this conference. I am not sure whether this conference will be successful or not, but I am assuming that it will be successful because we have got eminent speakers with maximum qualifications and they are expert in their field. Also, the participants' strength shows that they are so enthusiastic, so keen to attend this conference during this unprecedented condition. Now, the theme of today's conference is Pandemic, a Wake-up Call, a New Era in Nursing Pedagogy. Now, many of them might be having the doubt that why we are talking about a wake-up call, because this is not the first wave. This is the second wave of COVID-19 which we are undergoing. But I will start with one question that, will COVID-19 pandemic, catastrophic milestone that will change the world forever? And addressing the question, I feel that yes, it has already changed the world to a maximum extent. Because when we see the business, when we see the industrial, when we see schools, I'm not talking about the nursing, I'm just talking about schools, industries, business, everything had underwent a change. So what about the healthcare system? This COVID-19 pandemic had mirrored the pitfalls of our healthcare system. We were not prepared to face the first wave itself. And we can't blame our nation. The reason is that the developed countries, they failed to face this COVID-19 pandemic. They lost many lives. And what about our country? It's a developing country. So we have to admit certain facts that yes, we are in a phase that we have to think in a different way. But in the first COVID-19 pandemic wave, what had happened was it was totally new for everyone. And we were struggling that what to do, how to do, and even our teaching faculties, even I will say the doctors, they were having the fear that what will happen, because the thing was related to your life. It's very precious, and we all know that we can't purchase life with money. So in that scenario, doctors were having the fear, nurses were having the fear, and many of them have taken a long leave because of the fear of life. So what about the nursing students? We are the role model for them. And if we are having the fear, then what about them? So this is a big question mark. Now, the next thing is that we overcome from the fear, and it has been pre-assumed. I will say in today's scenario, it might be a myth for everyone that we pre-assume that now first COVID wave is going to subside and we can bring the life on track. Even our universities were ready by giving the instructions that now you can start the classes, but you have to maintain COVID-19 protocol in our institutions, and students also overcome that fear. Teachers also overcome the fear. But again, as soon as the second wave, for which we were not at all ready, again when hit us, and it hit us personally, because now this COVID second wave had started attacking our personal people. Like we started losing our relatives, we started losing our dear ones, even we lost many students, many teaching faculties, I feel very bad because this is a state conference. Recently, I still remember one of our teaching faculty from Gwalior. Whenever I visited Gwalior, I have met him many of the times. When his life has been lost, we were totally shocked that what we are facing. We were the people who used to save the life of patients. Now we are not able to save the life of our own paternity people. On the other hand, 2 days back in our TNA group, we have posted one pic and we expressed our condolence for one of the students who passed out from one of the reputed college. She lost the battle against COVID-19. So it is really creating a big panic fear. And on the other hand, we talk about quality nursing education. We talk about curriculum changes. Every 5 years, INC used to change the curriculum based on the demands of environmental changes, community demands. But we can't wait for INC or for other things that they will come and they will guide us, because no one is prepared what to do. So at least at our level, we are having the experts that how they can manage the situation, and getting ideas from them. We can think that yes, we can implement at our own level. So we have got experts like Professor Dr. Farooq sir is there, who will be addressing on the topic whether online classes is worth or not. Because when we were talking about our curriculum, we always give an emphasis that expository teaching method is not better, inquiry method of teaching is good, lecture method is not that much worth, because it is a practical thing and we have to interact with the students, we have to get into their minds, we need more practical hours. On the other hand, we are not posting our students in community area. So how we can enhance the skills, that will be addressed by Professor Dr. Rama Taneja ma'am. Then to cope up the fear, what preparedness our institutions are doing to protect the health of students as well as of the teaching faculty. So what measures that we have to do will be addressed by Professor Dr. Shabana Anjuman ma'am. And on the other hand, sorry, by Professor Dr. Shrija Vijayan ma'am. And the curriculum changes. Now, when we talk about academic calendar, when we talk about calendar is not for a 1 day, it's not for a 1 month, it's for a complete 1 year. So in every institution, I believe that even the university used to display the academic calendar that this time we will be having our examination, this has to be planned. And as we have all underwent nursing education classes, so it has been taught to us that curriculum can't be rigid, it has to be flexible. But in COVID-19, I feel that there is no space for rigid word. It is completely flexible. We can't make a proper calendar because every day the things are changing, every minute the things are changing. If tomorrow we have planned some class for someone, what we observe is that they might have infected with COVID-19. Now they are not in a state of mind to take the class. When we discuss with our students, what we are observing is that, very sorry, madam, we are not able to attend the online class because I have lost my brother. So it's very painful. Now we have to think again. So that's why we have chosen this theme, that is a wake up call, how to address, because in second wave we are not ready, then what about the third wave? So definitely it is a wake up call. This pandemic has given a wake up call, and what strategies we are going to adopt in changing this nursing pedagogy, what changes we can bring in our teaching, in our clinical practice, will be addressed by all the experts. So once again, I express my gratitude to all the expert panels who are with us, panelists who are with us, and I hope that to some extent we will come out with certain solutions to overcome this unprecedented condition. Thank you once again.
Thank you, ma'am, for sharing experience and opening of the theme of this conference so well. Before we get started, I would like to go over a few instructions for participants. You will have the opportunity to submit your doubt regarding the session by typing your question into the chat section, or you may send in your question at any time during the session. We will collect this and address them at the end of each session. Now, let's have the opportunity to listen to the words of great knowledgeable person of today's first speaker, Professor Dr. Farooq Khan, Principal, the Academy of Nursing Science and Hospital, Gwalior. For this, I would like to invite Professor Dr. Amita Paul, HOD, Community Health Nursing Department, Bombay Hospital College of Nursing, to introduce today's first speaker. Over to you, ma'am.
Good morning to all of you. It's a great honor for me to give a brief introduction about Professor Dr. Farooq Khan, Principal Academy of Nursing Science and Hospital at Gwalior. Sir has completed his BSc Nursing from East West College of Nursing, Bangalore in the year 2004, MSc Nursing from Vinayaka Mission Annapurna College of Nursing, Salem in the year 2009, and PhD from Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan University, Bhopal in June 2020. Sir have possessed 15 years of teaching experience, even though Sir got various professional achievements like National President of the Nursing Teacher Association of India, awarded second rank in university in Master Science of in Nursing. Sir participated and organized various international national conferences, workshop and symposium. Sir as a paper setter and practical examiner in various universities like Rajasthan University at Health Science Jaipur, Barkatullah University Bhopal, Jivaji University Gwalior, etc. Sir has published medical surgical second through PV publication Jalandhar, published nursing research abstract through Vinayaka Mission Annapurna College of Nursing, Salem. I would like to invite Professor Farooq Khan sir to put some light on the topic online classes, is it is worth to deal right the nursing curriculum. So please, over to you, sir.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for a nice introduction. And I would like to thank, first of all, Principal Binsi ma'am, because she has given an opportunity today on this virtual platform. And thank you so much, the staff of Bombay Hospital College of Nursing, to arranging this conference, because at the time of pandemic situation, this type of online conference is very much needed. So my topic is that one. This virtual platform, it is birthful or not? So 1 second, I will start this one. So my topic, online classes, is it birthful? Yeah, birth to deal with the nursing curriculum. So before going with the nursing curriculum, we must know what is the online class. So we have seen, I think so all know these things. If we are unable to meet physically in the classroom, because this pandemic scenario hello. Yes. So online class is conducted over the internet, because we know for an online class, there must be an internet. And there must be a system that is called learning management system. And we know for learning management system, there must be a course instructor. So 3 things are needed to do or start a online class: medium, internet, and the thing course instructor, and one of the system that is called learning management system, LMS. And further we will go, online education is electronically supported, means there is need of internet, and online education is that internet access can be seen, we can start online education in anywhere we are there, in anywhere in the world we can start these classes. So the sentence is there, virtual class. So what is the difference between virtual class and an online class? We can see virtual class. What the meaning of virtual? Virtual means we are meeting to each other, but not physically, not live. We can say not physically we are meeting, but we are meeting and we are hearing the sound and we are talking to each other as a online conditions. So this is a refers to a online system when we are students or teacher are meeting. It is called virtual classroom. So like a online class, virtual class, although same, it needs learning management system. Virtual class learning environment need a number of students or number of learners are more, because in online class it may be possible from one to one area, but virtual classroom needs a large number of learner. And how do the online classes work? We will see. The online degree is similar to a taking a degree program on campus, but you have to freedom to direct your own study schedule. See, this online classes, we have seen this pandemic situation from last year to this year. So many management or so many institute has started the online degree courses for various courses like something management courses and some pharmacy courses, small courses. They have started online only, and online they are providing the degree. So they have made a schedule. So for online class, there must be a schedule, and your course instructor must make a format so that delivery methods will be easily can be possible, and it must suit to the course or particular program. Online classes are more cost effective than the traditional classes and can be done at a pace the student is comfortable with, because student is in home. So student will be comfortable to take the online classes. Now we will see the what is the difference between online classes and live online classes. This is a two word, online classes and live online classes. So I will tell you the difference. Live online classes require student and instructor to be online at the same time, as like online conference is going on. So this is a live conference, live online. But if this conference will be recorded in YouTube and you can see anytime, then it will called as a online class, but it will not called as a live online class. Now the point has come, nursing curriculum and online class. See, I have told you regarding the online classes, virtual platform, virtual classes, and live online classes. The three things I have told you: online class, virtual class, live online class. Now we will see the nursing curriculum and online class, and what is the need of online class in nursing curriculum. As we know, nursing curriculum is based on practical session, demonstration, lab procedures, and also having the theoretical portion. So through online classes, we can manage the theoretical part. Theory part we can complete through the online. We can make a virtual platform, we can make a schedule, and we can divide the hours to fulfill that theoretical criteria. But and as we know, traditional class, when we used to go in traditional class, instructor used different type of aviates, including lab demonstration of procedure. And if the instructor is going on in the classroom, then using the blackboard, chalk, OHP, LCD projector, and something aviates, flashcard. So many types of aviates were using, and nursing curriculum theoretical parts can be taken up. And while the procedures has to be done by in the labs or in a clinical setup. Through online class, we can manage the theoretical hours to fulfill as per given instruction in curriculum, as I told you. But it is difficult to manage lab demonstrations, procedures through online class, because demonstration can be shown through video. We can fulfill, at least we can fulfill through online class, we can demonstrate the video with that high technical support. Because first we have to make a video to so that student or learner can see everything step by step, because it need a high technical support, then it will be possible. But as I told you, through the online class we can't completely fulfill the procedures demonstration through the lab what we are doing, because student will be unable to do this practice or procedure of demonstration you have done, because students are there in their homes. So unavailability of the resources and expert, nursing student can't do the practice and can't do the practice of demonstration in their home. So this is a problem to fulfill the nursing curriculum through online class. But as I told you, we can complete the theoretical hours. We can able to complete, and demonstration at least 20 to 25% we can complete through, but it need a high technical support. And what are the common problems? Beside of that demonstration, what are the common problems arise during online classes? There are 5 common problems faced by the students in e-learning classes. It is called new word e-learning also, which they need to be solved through proper initiative for the students' future benefit. And what are that problems? We will see one by one. Adaptability struggle, adaptation, switching from traditional class and face-to-face instructor training to online class in a virtual classroom makes the learning experience entirely different for students. Because instructor can make a eye-to-eye contact and can see the students also, see the learner also, what they are doing, whether they are listening or not. But through online class, many of the learner or many of the student, what they do, they make a video of the video, and only you are used to learn that what the instructor is telling. So we can't rely that the student is listening properly or not. And one more thing, student also has to be face the problem to adapt, because in traditional class student will be more disciplined, but in the online class student may not be disciplined. How to overcome? Student with traditional mindset, we have to make a mindset, as Bipin sir has given some instruction before starting this conference, as we have to give the perfect instruction to the learner, and we have to measure which type of learner or which type of students we are taking up the classes. So like that, according to them, we have to make some instruction, and we have to tell them the benefits, and we have to take the some in between the classes, we have to ask the questions whether they are listening your things or not, what you are telling. So you have to get the reply in between the classes. Then only you can know that students are listening, students are thinking, and students are replying your word. Then you can see, you can assume, you can think that students are there in virtual class, students are present in virtual class. The next things, if we will see, technical issue. See, this is, I told you, for online class there must be a medium that is called internet, and a strong internet connection must be there to complete the online classes. And it require, if their strong internet connection is not there, or something problem is there, or high bandwidth is not there, so maybe technical problem may arise. So how to overcome? The only situation, we have to exactly know the technical support before starting the online class. Because as I know, students are having the mobile, by mobile only they are attending all the online classes, and they depend on the what that service provider is providing that data, they are depend on that. So if the online class is going on whole day for them, so it will not be possible to complete the online class by the students, because this is a technical problem, data problem for them. Internet connection will not be available for whole day. So we have to manage the technical issue first before going for online classes. Now we will see the computer or technical literacy. This is a very common problem during the online classes, because some of the students have taken the mobile first time because their parents are not allowing to give them mobile, and so many apps are there for manage the online classes. And first time if they are managing or if they are applying the online classes for new applications, so this computer literacy or technical literacy must be strong. They must practice, they must go gone through regarding this technical support, and their instructor must make some manual regarding the user manual, so that before starting the online class, this problem will not arise among the students or learner. As I told you, how to overcome before start online class, fundamental knowledge of computer or mobile hardware and application instruction must be aware by the student to participate in online class without interruption and hindrance. Now we will see next common problem, time management. As I told you, time management is a difficult task for e-learners, as online courses require a lot of time and intensive work. Because in between the class, interruption may occur. Then again, we are managing, again the online class is starting, again the learner are joining. So it take a time management will not fulfill. It will take a long time to complete the work. And how to overcome? A regular schedule planner would be a significant help to these learners, as they could even set reminders for their courses and assignment. So here what we can do, we can, according to the schedule, the period of the online class must be frequently. It must not go for 30 or 40 minutes, more than 30 or 40 minutes. After that, some period has to be given for relaxation. Then reminder must be there. Say next course or next class when it will be there. And first online class what the completed. Regarding that, assignment must be given to the learner and a student. Then only they can connect to that class properly. And time management can be managed. Next common problem, self-motivation. See, self-motivation is a e-learning essential requirement. So many learners, so many students are not motivated regarding the e-learning. So it depends on us. It depends on students, and it depends on e-learners what they want to learn. They must be motivated regarding the learning. So it must have a positive attitude, because positive attitude will help them overcome the challenges in the e-learning. Through this is a hard to practice, students need to understand that it is necessary in order to reap the e-learning's benefit in the future. We have to tell them, or student himself or herself think the benefit of the online class. Some of the students I have seen, they used to say, we can't learn through online classes, we need traditional class only, we are unable to learn. But if the pandemic scenario is going on, we must accept the situation. We must motivated ourselves, by the instructor also, that in the pandemic situation when the resources are not available, we are unable to come to the college, and the traditional class as usual will not go. Then we must accept the situation, and we must be motivated and ourselves, and we must go for the e-learning. So these are the 5 common problems at the time of e-learning or virtual platform or online classes. Now we will see what are the advantages of online classes. Efficiency. As I told, online learning offers teachers an efficient way to deliver lesson to the students. Online learning has a number of tools. So many tools are there: videos, PDF, podcast. So teachers can use all these tools as a part of their lesson plan. Nowadays, the Google Classroom is going on. So in Google Classroom, if we will apply, so we can deliver, if night time also something we have grasped in the internet, we can make that PDF and we can post in Google Classroom. So whenever that student will open that Google Classroom, then can able to get that PDF. That is online class, that is not live online class. So this increase the efficiency. Online learning offers teachers an efficient way to deliver the lesson to the students. Accessibility of time and place. As I told you, online class in anywhere of the world, if we are there, so no need this geographical boundaries. We can start our online education anywhere in the part of this world. Must be there, internet must be there, then only we can start the online class. Affordability. So this one, third one, this is advantage. Another advantage of the online nursing is reduced financial cost. As I told, we are in home and teacher also at their places and teachers providing the online classes. So this can be afford. This will reduce the financial cost than compared to the physical learning. Students has to come by the bus to their colleges or to the institute. Student has to manage all the things and meal and lunch, etc. So the going to through the bus, going to the transport and arranging the lunch and something that things, it will be managed by the online class. So it will, an online class will be more affordable compared to the physical or traditional learning. Online class improved student attendance. See, we have seen in a physical or traditional class, we have to force the student to come to the college. Otherwise, your marks will be cut or your internal marks will not be given properly. But in online class, student is already in their home. So when we will call for online class, all will come. So this will increase the student attendance. Next, suits a variety of learning style. Through the online class, as I told you, through the online class, it is having a range of options and resources which can be used personalized in many ways. It is the best way to create a perfect learning environment. And it suits the need of each student. Now we have seen the advantage of online class, and now we will see the disadvantages of online learning classes. Advantage, once more I will show you. Efficiency, accessibility of time and place, affordability, improved student attendance, and suits a variety of learning styles. So these are the advantages. Now we will see the disadvantages. Why we have why I reverts back to the show you the advantages, because when you will see the disadvantages, and we must compare the advantage and disadvantage. Disadvantages. First disadvantage is screen time. I have seen many of the institute, they are running to fulfill the curriculum to whole day the online classes. And this whole day online class will increase the screen time to the learner. So this is the biggest challenge of online learning, that is struggle with the focusing on the screen for a long period of time. So how we can manage this one? We can manage through making a schedule, perfect schedule, as I told you, and frequent means more than 30 or 40 minutes, we must provide them relaxation. We must not go for whole day online class. Next disadvantage of online technology issue, as I we discussed before, technological issue is a main, and a second one, a wall of disadvantage we can say of online learning, because many of the students are in villages and they are not having a smartphone, or they may not having the internet connection properly, and so this technological issue may make a wall to learn them properly. They can't learn properly. So a consistent connection with a decent speed must be there to learn to join the online classes. Sense of isolation. As student is, we were also one in a student is. So if at the time of pandemic situation, we are seeing many of the students are getting depression because they can't meet their friends. They are not able to meet their student teachers, their favorite teachers also they can't meet. So this interaction, physical interaction gap is there. So it provides a sense of isolation to the learner. And how we can manage? We can manage by the phone calls, by the video calls, something. And the instructor or the teacher must arrange some psychological classes, some motivation classes to the student, so that they must be motivated. So we can start some cultural activities through online program, so that student should not develop any sense of isolation. Teacher training, this is a also disadvantage. Traditional learning, students have learned from their colleges or from the institute traditional learning and traditional teaching. But if we are going the online class, first we have to go for teacher training. The teacher must know the understand the digital form of learning. So it requires a long time. So how can we manage? We have to manage like this. We have to go for this teacher training, because when the teacher will know the digital platform, using the digital platform, then only the student will learn and learner will get the things. Self-motivation, as I told you, self-motivation is a e-learning essential requirement. However, many online learners lack it because they don't want online class. They must go for traditional class. They are not believing in the online class, so they must be motivated. So these all are things in the online class I have told you today. Any question, if it is there, can ask me.
Participants, you are free to ask any questions from our speaker. Anyone? Sir, I would like to say few things like the topic was like online class, whether it is worth or not, and you have highlighted all the aspects very well. And I will say that your slides were so attractive. I can understand that you have kept student-centered approach while preparing the slides, because it was so attractive that I was not able to move my attention from that slide. And you have covered all the aspects, and yes, Now the thing whether it is worth, now this is the demand of this current scenario. So yes, because this is the medium only we can connect to our students, and we can't sit ideal that okay, it's lockdown, so we are not going to take the classes, and online will not be beneficial. That we can't do as a teacher. Yes, this is the time, because time will not come back, and we have to utilize, and online is the medium where we can try to cover certain topics at a great level. And I will share few things, sir. Like many of the students of our institution, even the parents, they used to raise one question that madam, while online classes are going on, how can you supervise our students? They used to keep it off, and they used to carry out other work. So we used to tell them that, see, they are not in school level, that they have to understand they are in their late adolescent and young adulthood period. It is their need, because a college student, they are not the kid that they will keep it off and have their chips, or they will enjoy and they will spend time watching mobile. Because when the online class is going on, that means it is their need, they have to attentive. But what the teachers face the problem is regarding the advanced learners and slow learners. Yes, there is the problem where we face, because in class we can easily identify through eye to eye contact by raising certain questions. And even in online classes, what we used to observe is that if we are asking any question, immediately they will search in their mobile through Google and they will answer us. So there are few lacunas we are facing, and like every coin has got its two sides. So there are few pros and cons which you have highlighted very well. And another thing is that this is my personal experience. Online classes are also worthful in certain places. It depends upon the teachers how they are trained enough. We have attended one nurse communication online course which was being conducted at global level, and in that they have created case scenarios, and they said that now this is the case scenario after every session, and they said now you have to explore and you have to do the presentation. So it created brainstorming. So I will say that it is not a one way type of interaction. It can lead to brainstorming if the teachers are very well trained for that. And it has been highlighted previously also, there were online courses, and I think that many of the speakers who are sharing this platform, we have also done online courses, and at that time we never raised a question against online classes. But why it has been highlighted? Because at present online classes are more required. So we started finding out the negative sides of online classes. Parents also like it is not worth enough. But what about telenursing and telemedicine? Because what we feel is that doctor should meet the patient, and then only a better care can be done. In the same way, for nursing care, they have to be in contact with the patient. But still, telemedicine and telenursing it is at high demand. So it all shows that this is the current scenarios demand, and we can't sit idle, and we have to go and we have to accept online classes. So, sir, once again, I express my sincere gratitude, and really it was an eye opener for students also, because they always deny that online class से तो कोई मजा ही नहीं है, कुछ समझ भी नहीं आता है. So now it's their turn to brainstorm. They have to take time and they have to ask certain questions. Even flipped classroom can be done with the help of online classroom. And on the other hand, I also welcome Professor Shrija ma'am. She has joined when Farooq sir was taking the classes, but I was not able to welcome you at that time, madam. So I welcome you in this platform. And with this, I would put an end to my words. And once again, I express my gratitude to Farooq sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you, Farooq sir, and thank you, Vinci ma'am. Moving on towards the next session of this conference, subsequent distinguished speaker to honor us with his presence is Professor Dr. Rama Taneja, Principal, Kushabau Thakre Nursing College, Bhopal. So for this, I request Mr. Ishtiaq Khan, Lecturer, Bombay Hospital College of Nursing, to introduce the speaker. Sir, over to you, sir.
Thank you, Vipin sir. With great privilege, I would like to introduce Professor Dr. Amma Taneja, Principal Kushabao Thakre Nursing College, Dr. M.H. Vinci, Principal, Bombay Hospital College of Nursing, professors, associate professors, assistant professors, lecturers, and dear delegates. Let's me introduce our eminent speaker, Professor Dr. Amma Taneja, Principal Kushabao Thakre Nursing College, Bhopal. Ma'am had completed highest qualification in nursing, that is PhD in nursing from Maharaja Global University, Jaipur, Rajasthan in the year of 2020. Ma'am had completed MSc Nursing, Community Nursing from the Jivaji University, Gwalior in the year of 2006. Ma'am had ad hoc inspector of INC from 2007. Ma'am is a university inspector also. Ma'am is a member of Board of Study in LN University, Bhopal, MP. Ma'am is a district level trainer in RCS training program from State Institute of Health Management and Community, Gwalior, MP in the year of 1997. Ma'am has received GFE team training from the Mumbai in the year of 2003. Ma'am is a chief editor, Community Nursing Inspector journal, which is published quarterly. Ma'am has participated many state, national, international workshop, seminars, and conferences as a resource person and as well as a delegate. Ma'am is a currently principal of KBT Nursing College since 10 years. It's our great privilege to have you two on this platform as a resource person. I would like to request you to the session on this topic initiative to strengthen community skills of nursing students as a measure in pandemic lockdown. So over to you, ma'am.
Ma'am, your audio is mute, I think. Ma'am, please unmute yourself.
Masuk.
Ma'am, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. It is unmute now.
Okay. Now, now what to do?
Ma'am, we are sharing screen. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Visible.
Start slideshow.
Ma'am, slide is visible, ma'am. Ma'am, you can
Visible.
proceed. Yes.
No, no. I am not clicking that from the beginning. Slideshow already I clicked.
Ma'am, it is visible, ma'am. First slide is visible. Ma'am, you can proceed.
Then how for the second slide?
Ma'am, we will move the slide from here, ma'am.
Okay, okay.
Ma'am, you just say next. Ma'am, we will move.
Okay, okay.
Yes.
Okay, okay. Okay. Good morning to everyone. I am not listening. Everybody are listening me or not?
Ma'am, it is audible, ma'am. Ma'am, please
Audible?
proceed.
Okay.
Yes,
okay,
ma'am. Yes.
Okay. 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 Now I am going to already you listen that what is online classes. Because nowadays for corona pandemic, it's very hard for everyone, not only students, even teachers, even other professional personnels also. So in this crisis, how to manage the things? Because we are the nurses. Yeah, nowadays we should be proud as a nurses because we are put our life in risk to save the life of others. That is, of course, nursing is a profession, but it is a noble profession, not the profession like a engineer, like a advocate, like that. Nursing profession is noble profession. But when we ask for a profession, so that professional means is need a specific training. And we also get the training specifically. After that only, any profession needs learn to skill and knowledge, both the things. That's why nursing also the combination of knowledge and skill. And how we are going to get knowledge and skill? Through a particular training. And we manage this training in a classroom as well as the clinical situation, either it is hospital or community setting, because it needs both the things. Only theoretical knowledge is not enough. With the learning by doing, students can't listen everything, can't get the knowledge, but no skills. That's why for train the skills, student have to put in the real situation. But previously, we simulation classes, simulation practical also we get done. So student can experience like similar the real situation. But nowadays it's not possible. And we put the student directly in situations of real. So for students, it is very, very much challenging how they cope up and how they manage to get the knowledge, how they manage to the patients without direct observer, without direct trainer, without direct faculties. Because a student exposed to clinical environment, either hospital or community setting, the behavior of students will change as they were in classroom, because classroom is very much different thing. Only students, the peer groups and teachers are there. Teachers are always they are present to clear their doubts, but at real situations nobody is there, they have to manage themselves. There are so many important factors continue affecting the students' skills and knowledge. In the learning environment, it is very, very important to improve and enhance the quality of care. In pandemic situation, how can we continue this learning and doing process? Because due to shortage of nurses, nowadays the senior students, third year and fourth year, GNM third year, the student also government going to involve them for immunizations or other sample taking for test, everything government going to put them in that situations. And for students, before now, they never experienced this type of situations. So it is very challenging for them how they are going to manage them. So there are so many challenges we will discuss later on. In the pandemic situation, the first thing is preparedness. How we are going to prepare the things. And before we putting the students in real situation and the community setting or a hospital setting, we should well establish a global influenza surveillance and response system, and that is GISRS. Means whatever situation now in COVID, that should be surveillance, means we find out, make a survey and research to see the responses. So what should we do to getting the good response for the people to save from corona and save the life of our people? That's why preparedness is very, very important. And for that, we have to monitor the trends and community control the community transmissions and reduce the risk factors. And we have to see that how much risk we are facing and what are the severity and how can we save the life of the people. Faculty are already trained nurses are already they trained, they know, they experience all the situations and they can handle very nicely. But for students, it's very hard for them. So that's why students deal with students in such a situations is very much challenging. Next, please. The challenging is already we know that to break the chain of transmission, government going to lock down the cities, close the market, close the conveyance, road, everything is closed. In these situations, moving from one place to another and in community and how they going to community and work, it is a very big challenge. Okay, teleconsultation is there through communication link. But before nowadays, students are very much start. Everyone know the internet users. They know every devices how to manage. If they getting link, they can handle the PPT and through internet everything they can get. But at practical situations, handle the patient, how to touch, how to save themselves and save the patient. So that's why it is a very big challenge. Virtual meetings also. Okay, virtual meeting like this, students are listening, but it's on their interest. If they want, they are continue. If they don't want, they can leave. To say that I can't get internet, I am not getting internet facility. Okay, there are so many excuses are there to not attending. That's why very much Vinci is saying very much class should be that much interested कि every student should listening. Don't make the class is boring, only whatever is written we just vomit it in front of students. They also thinks okay, madam is no directly they can touch me, they can say oh, go out, it's my control कि I am attending or I can go out. Say कि internet connect is disconnected, internet link is not getting, facility is not at our place. There are so many things. So this thing also a very big challenges. Integrated partnership with local leaders and senior staffs. Local leaders, of course, they are saying, you are a very little girl or boy. What do you want to do? We are not going to listen you. What you know, then you are coming to teach us. We are not listening you. So the students should that much aware what should they talk to the patients or community, they should listen. First, student should know the matter, whatever the student is going to teach them, either health talk or going some procedure. The student should be mastery on that particular things. After that only, the student is able to answer it. Whatever the audience asks regarding that things, that particular procedure or particular things. After that only they can trust on student. Otherwise they are not. If the student, someone asking some questions, I am having some fever and cough, what should I do? Am I suffering from corona? And the student is surprised, what should be my answer? Immediately the student say, I am not trained on, I am a student, I don't know. Let me ask first, then I will able to tell you. Immediately the public go for reactions. What they are doing, They are put our lives in leads to send the students only. They don't know anything, but even that the students put to take care of us. So that's why before you posting the students, even nowadays government asking to put them, before you posting, we should explain the everything and every point that student can answerable the things. And the same responsibility for senior staff. But what senior staff is at another attitude, they said already we are trained, so you have to follow us. You don't have any, we are not sitting here to clear your doubts. Go your class, ask to your faculty to clear your doubts. I have lot of works, I don't have any time. That is the seniors behavior. So many times we can observe, even students are complaining regularly these things. So this is also challenges to change the behavior of senior staff also. Of course, increase mental illness, depression and anxiety. Really, this time everyone is in fear, everyone is scary. What should be the next step? Today I am well, I don't know what will be happened in my life tomorrow. When I am going for a gather, when I'm going for a family or any situation of clinical setting, either a hospital or community, every time anxious, already somebody can transmit the infection, somebody can harm me. Even the cooperation of public is not so many. Already we know that what's happened the previous fast wave at Indore. Even public going to attack the medical staff, nurses, they just run to save their life. So they are not cooperative. There are so many things are here. So these all are challenges, and we have the faculty and we have to overcome with all these challenges and solve the problem. Next, please. Yeah, for home personal care, we have to teach them how they can keep themselves safe, to maintain personal hygiene, exercise, steam inhalation. All these things are regularly shows in TV, and health workers at the time of visit the homes, they also aware with all these things. There are so many things. Even it is a very big challenge because they are not listening you, and you also very much we are to go close with them because social distancing is alag, the corona guideline we have to follow. So all these things create a very big challenge. The limitation to serve only residents. Yeah, previously whenever you posted at community area, that thing is very much different from now this situation. There easily you can move, easily you can enter the home, easily you can talk to the uh, personals, the relatives, the owners, house owners, everything. But now there is so many limitations because the family support are not adequate. They are not going to allow in their house. They maybe think you are going to infected them. Yeah, maybe they are not listening, they are well, but due to you, maybe they fall in ill. That's why they are not permitted you to enter. Even they are not listening you. Then if they are not listening to you, are just helpless. How to motivate them to listen? That is the very big challenge. Next, please. Miscommunication. Yeah, you know, everybody we know that there are so many miscommunications regarding vaccine. Already we know that vaccine is nothing, just a solution of sugar. Yeah, vaccine is that if you get the vaccine, you will die. There are so many side effects. Yeah, nowadays, if you get the vaccine, so you will be you will be not you will lose your everything. Even you fertilization also affected due to vaccine. Even that lot of things, the black, white fungus, okay, these things are going to kill you. Jabki you know very well the fungus, already you learned in your microbiology, fungus also have microbes and harmless. Everywhere you can see the black fungus, white fungus, even the vegetables, bread, old bread, everything. It is not going to harm us. But now a situation is different. Due to COVID, who are positive, their immune system is suppressed. Due to lower immune system, they are getting this type of infections, and delay for diagnosis it's make a very dangerous and serious conditions, even threaten the life also. So remove all the miscommunication and misconceptions is very big challenge. Peoples are affected, not only reduce, seal down the community. It is not communication, it is community services. It is also disrupted. Obviously, the routine care we are not able to. Now, corona care is that much. It is a pandemic and Mahamari. That much of conditions, lakhs of people are dying. Crores of people are affected in this emotion. Not only affect the person, even the life, your profession, your work, your income, your relation, even everything is affected. To overcome with all this situation is very big challenge. And put in these situations the students, it is a very big challenge how they control themselves, how they handle these situations alone. The another challenge is early discharge from hospital, because due to shortage of bed, shortage of manpower, shortage of oxygen, shortage of medicine, injections, everything, doctors just says when the patient is little bit settled, immediately they discharge for home management. Home management, who will the responsible? Community nurse, who are posted at community. So the community nurses are overloaded now. Even whatever the clinical side duties, that also they have to perform in community area. That is also a very big challenge. Next, please. Next, please. Okay. Now in this challenge, how we are going to prepare our students, strengthen our students, what to do? First of all, revised workflow with precautionary measures. Whatever work we are doing, whatever procedure we are going to do in that setting, we have to follow that, monitor the thermal temperature, sanitization of hand, and all other precautions, social distancing and gloving, gowning, everything we have to follow. After that only we can save the community peoples or the others audience and ourselves also. Next. Delivering across the world, nurses are putting themselves at it. Already I told you before, this is our proud moment. Yes, we can do this. Even sometimes nurses only do the very pandemic situations. They are attacked by others. Even they don't leave the place. They leave their home. They leave their family. Even after getting infections, as soon as they recover, immediately again they join the duty. This is a very big, even they sacrifice their lives, and we have to salute them, and we should proud. And now that's why we prepare our students to do the same as the others are already done. That's why it is really very exceptional. Previously, it is not done. After completion only they are posted. Nowadays, they have to do whatever work is assigned for them, either immunization duty or collection of samples or any other duty with the guidance of senior nurses faculty or faculty. Next, please. At the situations of work, they have to other so many challenges they have to face that. So what should we teacher do? So teacher should give them the up-to-date knowledge and teach them and demonstrate them how to manage their personal hygiene and how to follow the guidelines of COVID. Immediately, due to challenges, teachers should help them to make the decision. No, only decision taking is not the issue. You have to take the decision and it should be so fast. No time you have. A student assigned for clinical support and vaccination duty of community. So they have to manage immediately. Some patient is fall down in some allergy conditions, what to do. They have to make the decision immediately and shift the patient, and first aid care, they should be follow that. Students really, another thing is they are confused wherever they placed now. This is not a classroom situation, this is a real situations, and pupils in front of them, they are COVID, maybe COVID infected. Then what should they do? That is their confusion, and they confuse what should they do. And as teachers, we have to relieve their confusion and make them confidence. Really, students are another fear. Whatever they going to do, are they able to do that? Are they have efficient knowledge and skills to do the same thing? They are in confusion, fear. Maybe I am wrong, maybe I am do something wrong, then what will be happened? Maybe I am terminated, maybe I am suspended. Due to this fear, as a teacher, we have to remove all this fear and make them comfortable and confidence. Next, please. And already we teach them how to make a care plan whenever this type of situations, and remember the care plan. Okay, what are the diagnosis you can solve the health related problem and try to relieve the things. If the patient is having fever or pain or some things like that, you can identify and you can relieve the patient as per. And whenever that same situation, others qualified nurses should support the students without discrimination and continue develop their skills. Discriminations, I am already trained and you are not. You are little, I am big. Not this type of discrimination should follow. Next, please. Yes, what should we do to make the students comfortable? It's need a understanding. Understanding a very big thing. Understanding between the teachers and the students, and support by the senior staff. And as a teachers, we should give the correct and update informations. Next. Next. It's already we teach the students a leadership quality. Now they have to implement that quality of leadership to handle the local community. Whatever community obstructions, barrier is there, they have to quality and ability to solve them. Decision making capacity we have to establish with them. Providing recommendations, what are the situation and what they should do, and implications. Next. As a teachers, now already with to strengthen the students, what are the things they should do, but something for us, what we have to do. So we have to do means as a faculty for students, we should be positive and specific. Formulate and organize a plan how to operate the students as uh, the community setting or hospital setting, and it should be shared with students and parents also, because without getting permissions tomorrow, and maybe the parents claim that, "Ki, why should you do this, I am not permitted to do that." So we should share the plan with the student as well as the parents. Next, we should treat all the students equally, either dull or clever, either poor or rich, without any discriminations. We should treat equally. Yes, we have to listen fast and then talk. What we are doing, we just instructed, you have to do this, you have to do this, you have to do this. But we are not getting to listen that. Even someone going to, "Ma'am, please, oh, stop, go there and do these things." No, no, no. We have to listen that maybe the student have some problem. Maybe yes, the student have some confusion, doubt. So listen that. If any doubt or confusion the student have, as a faculty, we should remove all the confusion. Set expectation, how much we expect from them. That should be so much. As a trained staff, that much we can't expect from the students. Be friendly but not a friend. That is very important. The word is more suitable. Be familiar. Okay. Next. Yeah, maintain self-respect. Need to motivate. That is very important. Not only instructions. Why they should do this. There should be enthusiasm to do the things, because you are the motivator for students. You motivate, such a motivation they need. Immediately they are interested to do the things, whatever you assign. If we are in mistake, we should admit. Yeah, simplify the CPR and other very top ICU, in ICU, ventilator management, all these difficult things, try to teach them in simple way. That's why they can understand easily. Of course, we have to advise them for improvement and always encourage to independent work. That's why they can, wherever they posted, they can able to do the things independently. Maintain rapport with family. We have to teach them how to maintain. What are the things they should do to maintain the rapport with family? After that only they will get the family support. Now physical classes, offline classes are not going, so that's why if students have any doubt, they can ask in virtual class the teacher, either video calling or virtual class, everything. Next, please. Yes, I am going to conclude the sessions. Already we know that this is a pandemic time, and our students need a strength, need a motivation, and faculty going to play a very important role. A teacher's major responsibility is to teach the nursing students properly in the classroom and community setting also. Demonstrate the students effectively for good communication, adequate preparation, motivation for learning, and increase their self-confidence. Establishment a good communication and students is very important things for teaching learning process, because without students what can we do? Nothing. Students hai to hum hai, students nahi to hum bhi nahi. So we are the machine, students are a raw material. After they coming for us, we mold them actually what we want to make them. That much we have to do. So if we are not strengthening them, the students are very weak. Whenever they posted somewhere, they are not able to doing the things perfectly. So all these things should follow to strengthening. And for students, you are the great. And thank you for listening me. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Once again, I would like to thanks, ma'am, for very nicely you explain all the things for the students as well as teacher. But ma'am, I have a doubt. As we all know, the CHO syllabus is also entered in our curriculum.
Right.
है ना? So being a community health nurse, ma'am, how the practical skills we will be improve our students, ma'am?
Only one thing is remain for us, and that is virtual. We have to
Yes.
bus without nothing is there, because we can't go for the real situation in community setting to teach them, to
Yes,
demonstrate them. Whatever
Yes.
demonstrations, only pictorial demonstrations they can listen.
Oh, yes, ma'am.
No other way. What to do? Even now already we are very much habitual. Now see, the students already show the interest to join these virtual classes and meetings. Even how much seminars are going on virtual. So already I know that, already we say that telecommunication, telemedicine, now a tele consultations also going on. Nowadays, doctor, we can see the things. Oh, this is my X-ray. This is my X-ray, and here is my soiling. Now my eyes are like this. Only pictorial show is remaining. Other all the things are gone. So we have to familiar with these things, and our CSO also familiar. But for CHO, they are physically present. Sometimes they are physically present. So who are physically present, so we can demonstrate them live and
Thank you.
physically demonstrate them.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Now the audience, if you are having any doubt, then please clarify with the ma'am. Students. So I think so, ma'am, you explained very nicely what all things we required. So once again, on the behalf of Bombay Hospital College of Nursing, ma'am, thank you. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you. For students, take care. Take care yourself and take care others also. Okay, bye.
Thank you, respected Professor Dr. Rama ma'am and Amita ma'am. The moment has come to add a protective covering for students for their clinical posting during this pandemic. So the next session will be dealt by Professor Srija Vijayan, HOD, Child Health Nursing Department, Choitram College of Nursing. Consequently, I would like to invite Professor Asha Srinivasan, HOD OBG, Department, Bombay Hospital College of Nursing, to introduce the speaker. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Vipin sir. With a great privilege, I would like to introduce Professor Srija Vijayan, HOD Child Health Nursing Department, Choitram College of Nursing, Indore. Ma'am has completed her graduation in nursing from Government College of Nursing, SMS Medical College, Jaipur in the year 2004. Masters in Pediatric Nursing in the year 2009 from DAVV. Ma'am has also done with her fellowship in neonatology nursing from National Neonatology Forum with gold medal. She has also holding postgraduate diploma in child, adolescent and family counseling from Kerala University. Ma'am is having the vast 15 years of experience in teaching, research, administration and direct patient care. She has been invited as a resource person and chairperson in various national and state level conferences and workshops. Ma'am is the trainer for basic NRP, first Golden Minute project and also
Thank you so much, ma'am, for a great introduction. Let me first extend my heartfelt thanks and congratulations to Vinci ma'am and the entire organizing team for this thoughtful conference, which is the need of hour. So without taking much ado, I'll just pitch into my topic. I think I'm clearly audible to you, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Am I clear? Okay, thank you so much. Just I'll start with my screen share. So today I'm going to discuss about institutional preparedness and safeguard the health of nursing student during clinical posting during pandemic. That is the need of hour, and we have to be judgmental and resourceful and have a critical evaluation that how we have to make a skillful environment for the student during the pandemic. So as we know that at the beginning of this pandemic, majority of the organization has halted their nursing students curriculum in order to decline usage of personal protective equipment, because initially it is very limited in number, its availability, and involvement of the direct students in a direct patient care, because they are not much aware of the course of the disease and the processes. So that time initially it is halted. Now, according to various literature and research study that has been conducted during the past 1 year amid the pandemic, one article is there that is released by International Council of Nurses. According to that, majority of the students worldwide, that means across the globe, they are facing the problem of clinical exposure or completion of the clinical requirement. So what we can do when we are planning for the clinical posting of a student amid the pandemic, and in the meantime we have to safeguarding the health of our nursing student. So we have to adopt certain strategies. So if we are planning for a clinical of a student, we have to keep in mind that certain objectives are there before posting, that how to protect the faculty, health of the faculty and other faculty members, student and staff. Then decision making should be guided by what is feasible, practical, acceptable, and tailored to the needs of the student according to the year or semester they are studying, and provide opportunity to acquire a desired clinical skill, because we know that in each year there is a designated core skill that the student has to acquire and mastery over that, so that they can be a good professional and the care providers. So what we have to do, or what we have planning to do, we have to navigating the new normal. That means in our part, if we are seeing for us making no mistake, it is not easy in current scenario, but it is in a view as an opportunity to provide a care. That means if we are hold the clinical exposure and we go for the virtual, we can't be able to skill train our student. So we have to look for a blended kind of approach and offer certain kind of alternative pedagogical approach, so that their critical thinking as well as their clinical skill will be improved. So as a teacher, we have to be flexible enough so that we can plan our skill station according to the learning need and clinical alternative to be accessible, feasible, safe, compassionate, and rigorous. So moving to the first objective, when we are planning for a clinical posting of our student or thought of that, how we can protect the health and well-being of our faculty, student, as well as the staff, where the students are going to expose. So there we need to adopt certain strategy. These strategies are just based on some certain PDSA that is we have done, and various institutions and various organization to whom I discussed with, they have done. But the scenario is different from a government institution and some kind of private institution, because the student from first year onwards in government institution, they have to work in a COVID area, because they are there. So it is recommended, if we are working in a private institution and our students, as per the university protocol and norm, if they are relieved from the institution and went into the virtual mode, now we have to bring back. So how we can plan for the clinical exposure so that they can get the mastery over that thing. So it is recommended that not to call all student or all batches year semester together. We can plan like that. We can complete the theory portion of the rest of the batches and call one of the batches, and then before placement screen the student to ensure that they are healthy in the sense, because we have to screen about some comorbid condition if the students and faculties are having, whether they are having some respiratory conditions, whether they are have some immunocompromised conditions or not. So before placement, we have to thoroughly screen these conditions, and according to that, we have to plan for their placement. One more thing that we can do is reduce the number of direct patient care days of clinical posting. How we can do, we are not reducing the number of hours, we are reducing the number of days. How we can do that? At a time, we have to focus completely on clinical aspect. Like in virtual mode, almost our theory portion is completed. Now we are more concerned about how we are acquire the clinical skill of our students. So we can do one thing, that we divide our student in a 50-50 ratio according to the capacity of the organization, like the intake of the organization. If single batch is having a 50 student or a 40 student, we can divide them into 20-20 or 25-25 batch. Half of the students will be posted into the clinical area, especially in a non-COVID zones initially, so that they get an exposure to that thing. Then rest of the 50% student can be posted into the simulation lab for doing a scenario-based, case-based, thought-provoking simulations. Simulation is not merely practicing on a dummy. We have to prepare some certain case scenarios with that is actual case scenario that is going on in our parent hospital or organization, or the area where we need to acquire a specific skill, like in pediatric or in OBG or in community area, whatever thing we want to do, we create a live thing. And then also we have to focus on a certain kind of drill. That means time bound simulation session. If we are doing a time bound simulation session, the student know how they have to work and critically think what action they have to take and develop their critical judgment skill. So we have to focus on a simulation based lab, so that the student can get a desired skill that is required for that particular area or what that particular subject. And then we can rotate, or vice versa, we rotate the student in a non-COVID zone or a less risk zones or less risk area. If we are talking about the community posting of the student, we have to avoid the area where the corona incidents are more. So what we can do, we can go for a safe community practices. So in developing the contingency plan, include the expanded use of simulation, virtual reality that we can create, and then the telehealth. This is the emerging trend in a COVID scenario, that we are more moved more towards the telehealth. So we have to expose our student regarding the telehealth. We give them exposure for COVID counseling and post-COVID counseling, and how they have to deal with the situation. And the use of online resource for teaching and clinical area, because abundant of sites are available where the clinical skill and the procedures are uploaded, and the student can keep on seeing that thing and then practicing where they are. If the student availing hostel facility, then 50% strength should be accommodated at a time, so that crowding and risk of infection can be prevented, and we can provide with a more care, so that in this instant, we can say that we first call the 50% student or a one batch student, and we split into different rooms so that the social distancing and the COVID appropriate behavior will be maintained. And then meantime, the spread of the risk of spread of infection can be prevented. Now, what kind of strategy we can adopt? It is recommended not to put a partial block system, that morning hours the students are going into the clinical and afternoon hours they come for the physical classes. If we are planning for a partial block of time, we have to put the student in a clinical block, and then the rest of the theory classes will be conducted on a virtual mode. It is recommended so that they not come into close contact with each other. At a time when we are posting, instead of posting 7-8 students together, we can reduce their number to 4 or 5 students in a unit. And first we have to start with the green zone, that a non-COVID zone and low risk area. And then gradually, once the students get acquired to the environment and the condition and the practices that is going on in any of the hospital or healthcare facility where they are posted, then gradually we will move to the moderate risk areas once they acquire the required skill. It is advisable in the interest of student safety to limit the student direct care of known or suspected case of COVID infection. That is especially for the first year, second year, third year student who are not much exposed to them. We can directly post to the student who are in an internship with a COVID appropriate protocol. If availability of the PP kit and they are trained well in a donning and doffing, then we can go send with them with the senior faculty or a faculty members who are supervising initially to the student, and then work independently in particular area. Place a student in simulation lab for additional enhancement. Means here before posting, each batch, either it is a first year batch or a second year batch or a final year batch or a master student, first we have to do a skill development in infection control and practice prevention and control practices. Then use of in-person instruction in simulation center must be included to assess the appropriate use of PPE kit. That is very important, that PPE kit is available, but we don't know if our student is not knowing how to don and doff the PPE kit, how to use it, what all are the things that we can reuse and what all are the things that is for a single use, and how we have to properly remove it. Then faculty and staff, and with maintaining of social distancing, we have to teach all these things. Not only teach, we have to skill them on all these things with the written demonstration and case-based scenarios. Other strategies that we can adopt are some organizations have their own parent hospital and other have to send their student to the affiliated hospital for the clinical posting. What we can do in this case, nursing institutions are encouraged to read out the clinical partners, that is the affiliated hospital, to discuss the challenges with identifying clinical placement site to optimize availability and equity in the assignment student at the healthcare facility. If suppose they are saying that the inpatient are not that much in number as previous, so we can reduce the number of students in that particular area, and we can shift to the student in other zone where they can be placed. And what are the challenges they might face when they are posted in that particular area. Then work with the hospital partner to identify safe clinical sites and access to PPE kit for the student. That is very, very mandatory, that we can work with our hospital, that which area is safe, which area is green zone or low risk area where we can put the patient for a clinical exposure or a basic clinical skill. Then ensure that the student and faculty supervising them can access appropriate level and amount of PPE kit. PPE, that means the basic PPE that need to be, because we don't know who is the silent or asymptomatic patient in a COVID scenario. Might be they were in a green zone and then later on we come to know that they are positive. So reducing the risk of infection to our student and faculty member, first we have to ensure that the adequate number of PPE availability is there where they are going to be posted. Then it is very important to address all the queries and apprehension of the faculty as well as student before posting in order to gain the confidence, because it is students are having many queries regarding the posting, how they have to go there, where they have to approach, from where they get the PPE kit, how they go for the clinical scenario. So proper training and all the comprehension, all type of queries and questions of the student as well as the faculty should be sought out before placing the student in a clinical area. So now once we took up all the strategies, we have required training and sensitization. Now we have to sensitize our nursing student in particular area, that is situational awareness regarding COVID-19 transmission in our area, in our particular district where the students are going to be posted. Then COVID appropriate protocol and guideline that has to be followed in particular hospital, and what kind of protocol and change in infection control policies have been happened there. Now they have to keep sensitized to that thing so that they can able to follow the protocol. Then strict adherence to the COVID appropriate behavior, that is very, very important. Either the faculty and the student are vaccinated or not. Vaccination is not the guarantee that they will not get the COVID infection. Even though after vaccination, there is a risk that they can get a COVID infection. So it is mandatory for each and every person who are going to be in a clinical setting that they have to be strictly adhered to the COVID appropriate behavior. So certain areas that students need to be sensitized, like masking, how to put the proper masking. Many times it happens that the student are putting on the mask, but they don't know how to properly use it. So we have to give the training to the student how to put the N95 mask. If they are using the surgical mask or double masking system, how they have to do, how they have to seal the masking area so that the infection should not get in, and then how to follow the social distancing norm in a clinical area, in a clinical setting. Then they have to know, particularly with the continuous hand hygiene, because previously the frequency of hand hygiene is comparatively low, but now we have to be practice more hand hygiene practices, including gloving while going for a clinical area and for the direct patient care. So we have to train the students regarding the same before placement. Then if any students have any kind of weakness or symptom or any kind of thing is there, it is preferable that they can stay home when they are sick, and if they are availing the hospital facility, they have to be isolated from other student, and proper cleaning and disinfection protocol should be followed. Then we have to give a situational awareness like right now post-COVID complications are more prevailing. Even though people are COVID negative, but there are many complications for COVID, that is post-COVID follow-up complications are there because of the comorbid condition and certain glitches in the treatment protocol or certain lacunas in treatment protocol. So we have to aware or sensitize the students regarding the same, that if the oxygen is given, how we have to maintain, how we have to observe for, what we have to observe for, so that the complication should be reduced. And in the same way, they have to be sensitized for each and everything. These are the certain areas that we always advocate that the student should be master over that, because this pandemic is going to remain next 1 or 2 years with us. So they know the proper donning and doffing technique. What is the donning technique, what steps they have to follow, and what are the doffing technique. Screen the student for health issues. Then if possible, encourage the student to get vaccinated, because 18+ vaccination slots are open. So it is recommended that if it is possible that we can advocate or advocacy for the vaccination, or we motivate the student to get vaccination done at least 1 dose before posting. Then take demonstration and return demonstration of masking, donning and doffing of each student. It is not like a group we are doing and then taking a written demonstration. We have to spend certain much amount of time for seeing each and every step of donning and doffing, so that there is a risk of getting infection will be reduced to very low. Then demonstrate cuffing etiquettes if they are in hostel or in a educational institution, or even at home if they are availing the services from the home. Then demonstrate the cuffing etiquette that they have to follow. Ensure that after clinical, they are directly go to their respective rooms where they have a 24 hours water supply for bathing and washing and sunlight, because it is very mandatory that they can directly go to their respective room and take a proper hygienic measure. Then they have a designated place for uniform there where they can place, and even shoes before entering their room. Then what prevention of infection protocol they can follow or mastery over that thing is healthy protein rich diet along with supplement. It is recommended that we can provide students with a high protein diet along with supplements. Ensure all students have their breakfast and stay well hydrated before the clinical posting. Then teaching faculty will be with the student throughout the clinical posting. It is very, very mandatory because students are very apprehensive. They have fear, even though their family members have fear that if they are going into the clinical area, they might get the infection. So if the faculty members are there and they accompany the student throughout the clinical procedure, it will be very much beneficial and confidence boosting for the students. If the faculty, my teacher, my instructor, are with me, that means I too is protective and have to follow the certain guidelines, and they are there to guide us. So it is recommended that the senior faculty at least accompany initial days and then shifted to the clinical instructors. Then counseling facility in case of distress. It is observed that initial days of clinical posting amid the pandemic, many students are having so much fear, apprehension if they are come in contact with certain person, or they have talked and certain kind of protective norm of violated. So they are having a distress. They have the psychological problem. They might have a psychological problem. So we can avail, recommend them. They can approach for 24/7 counseling faculties, especially the initial days of clinical setting. And later on also we can provide with the same. Then yoga, meditation, and some recreational sessions, those who are working in a clinical setting for the area. Once they are get acquainted in the situation and the scenario, after the proper preparedness, then we can, because it is not possible that we can completely shift our clinical practice into the simulation-based practice only. Simulation, yes, simulation is very recommended, very much effective, but they must expose to the current scenario so that it will boost the confidence of the student, and also they are prepared for a step out as a front line when they are just passed out from the 4th year, especially the final year students of masters as well as the BSc students and interns, so that they can understand the scenario. We can involve them in a vaccination programs. We can involve in a screening, that a flu clinic and a screening protocol. Then these are the areas and the green zone areas where the exposure is required, and the counseling areas and telemedicine. Obviously, as Rama ma'am is discussed about the telemedication, now the majority of the focus area is diverted to the telemedicine. If we assist the student to understand the symptoms and how to counsel this patient, as well as the family members of the patient, it is very beneficial and handy to the student that they can get a better understanding of the scenario and clinical practices. So faculty member and students should be trained early identification. After training placement, we also trained in early identification of COVID symptom. If any of the students having certain kind of problem, we have to immediately identify. We have the opportunity to immediately identify that thing so that we can start isolate or quarantine the student and then start with the medication. If any suspicion is there, if we are suspected that the students are, because asymptomatic COVID patient might have some kind of weakness or a headache, so at certain time it's we observe that many of the patients only have the complaint of headache. So we have to be focused that what is the latest trend in a COVID strain, like a headache or a just mere weakness, that kind of thing, so that early identification of any kind of disease we can identify among our faculty, among our students, and we quarantine them and provide them with the proper facility. So isolation facility in case of infection, that means if we are providing the institution or institution is offering the hostel facility, we should make necessary arrangement for quarantine, hygiene, sanitization, food, and counseling of affected student. And they require a great amount of mental support, as well as the physiotherapy and the other counseling sessions. So how we can select the posting area? That means we have to focus on, or we have to select the careful selection of posting area, that is graduate for undergraduate. For graduate, we have to focus on based on the their, like in first year, they have to go with the basic care. So we can post them in the area where the only basic care is required, but majority of the patient are screened and non-COVID. So they can get an understanding of that thing after the simulation practice. In the same way, the hierarchical level, we can improve the exposure of the student, like antenatal counseling we can provide to those who are screened for the COVID. And then in the post-graduation level, for initially it is recommended because they are a registered nurse and registered practitioner. So they must work, or they are gradually after proper training. Here I am focusing on after proper training of infection control protocol, the scenario the parent hospital is following, proper donning and doffing technique they have, and after the all queries and apprehension has been solved, then with the faculty, first we have to post the student for the exposure, and then gradually we can expose to the low risk to high risk. So it's only for postgraduate students who are doing their PG because they are registered nurse. For undergraduate student, it is recommended that they are exposed to the non-COVID zone or a green zone areas for the clinical exposure, and as same for the community setting. So prepare and equip nursing student. It is very, very mandatory that prepare and equip nursing student with necessary skill to navigate in new normal. It is a new normal. We have to live with the COVID pandemic and the post complications, like mucormycosis is now a kind of pandemic in many states, and in our district also the number of cases are increasing. So students should know about the latest thing, the guideline, the practices they have to follow, and we have to equip the student with the necessary knowledge and skill that they have to acquire before the clinical posting and get into the clinical setting. So here I'm just giving my rest to my topic. If participants have any query, they can ask. Over to you, ma'am. Hope I justify with my topic.
I think participants, their mental health is being affected by COVID-19, so they are not having any queries, but we always have lot of enthusiasm, queries, and we are facing the practical situation. So first of all, I express my gratitude, ma'am, for sparing your valuable time. Yesterday only in late night, we got the information regarding your family in this COVID pandemic, that at present what you are facing and how you are with us. So once again, I will say that you have nicely justified your topic, because when we were attending your topic, the practical things which we faced in dealing with our students, that you have highlighted very well. And I will say that from the bottom of my heart that you were absolutely correct, that these strategies we have to adopt. Now, few things which we have done in our institution during institutional preparedness regarding the joining of the students. First thing which we told them that you have to be like you have to be present with your COVID negative report. And these were few plannings which we have done after discussing with the management. And then regarding the classes of the students. So it was very difficult. First, we thought that we will go with only 2 batches. Then our management and we came into a common goal that why to have 2 batches? Why can't we utilize the hostel space? So although we were conducting online class for 1 batch, but all the students who were sitting in the hostel, they were being supervised by other teachers. One teacher is taking the online class, for example, BSc Nursing first year, because in online classes, what we have observed is that they might be in the hostel, they might be sleeping or simply keeping their on and the video will be off, and they might be engaged in some other activities. So in our hostel, separate section was created for teachers, like one cabin was created for teachers, and from there they used to monitor the students, and after the online class they were given assignments. So in this way we have utilized the hostel rooms, I will say hostel space, for conducting classes for 1 batch. So we are having floors. So in this way we manage 2 classes, 2 batches, and other 2 batches in the college, because in college now we have got 4 classrooms, so it was having a sufficient space. Now the second thing was that what our management has addressed was involving the stakeholders. The biggest problem which we are encountering is the parents. Now what happened is that parents are having so much fear, and students, they have got, like I will say, 70% trust on parents and rest on teachers, because parents feel that they have to run the college. So that's why they are calling, what will happen to my student if she encountered with COVID-19? Who is going to take care? Bill to bahut bada aayega, kaun uska payment karega? So these are the problems which we face. So the first initiative step which we have taken even in our institution was vaccination of all the students. So before vaccinating our staff nurses, I feel proud to say that all our student nurses were vaccinated. Then were the teachers. So the priority was given to the student nurses. Then second thing was again the stakeholders. Parents said that, okay, you have given a vaccination, 2 doses of vaccination. Now my daughter is COVID positive. So we have to take class of the parents. Like the efficacy is not against disease, the efficacy is against the hospitalization. So they were will have mild symptoms, and we encountered a few girls who were having COVID-19, and our management was supportive, and we were able to treat those girls, and they came out with COVID negative result. And second thing which you have addressed, I appreciate, like breakfast, diet. So even in our student period in Hari Vari, we used to skip the breakfast, not the lunch and dinner. So this practice was carried out by our students. Although we have done counseling, all the sessions, they said, yes, we took the breakfast. Then we realized that no, they are not taking the breakfast. Their weight was regularly checked within 15 days. So as soon as we found a dip in their weight, so it has been encountered that they are not concerned about their diet. And we agree that it is the late adolescent and young adulthood. They are the master of their own life. So it becomes very difficult to counsel them and to convince them. Then the second thing which we have done was posting of the students, that we agree with you, ma'am. We have adopted the same strategy which you have highlighted, like simulation learning, and then sending rest of the students to clinical setting. And then one of the thing which we have done in our college was regarding hygiene. Now all the students, they are not very stringent to hygiene, and this is a challenge which still existing. Like 2 girls or 3 girls are staying in a room. So when they get relieved from their clinical hours, they are entering into the same room. One girl might be taking the bath, but rest of the 2 girls, they will be sitting on the bed, they will be touching everywhere. So that again is a challenge. Although we are doing sanitization, but we feel that to a certain extent it is still a challenge for us. And teachers, now everyone is familiar, like you are from Indore itself. So it was a big news that in Bombay hospital, 6 or 4 teachers, they were diagnosed with COVID positive. So they were not having any symptom, and that was a learning phase for us, that teachers should undergo test every month if they have any symptom or they interacted with anyone who was COVID positive. So these were the areas which we have worked, and I'm very happy that when I was listening to your presentation, it was like you were mirroring our college, what are strategies we have adopted. So very well, you have highlighted all the points. So it was a great honor for me to listen you, ma'am, in this platform. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for the cross learning too, because we learn from you too. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Shrija ma'am and Vinci ma'am. Now we are entering in the last session of today's conference, which will be dealt by Professor Dr. Shabana Anjum, Principal, Jabalpur Institute of Health Sciences, Jabalpur. Without any delay, for this, I would like to invite once again Professor Dr. Amita Paul, HOD, Community Health Nursing Department, to introduce our last speaker. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Vipin Chandran. Good afternoon, everyone. I, Professor Dr. Amita Paul, take great privilege to introduce our eminent speaker, Professor Dr. Shabana Anjuman, Principal, Jabalpur Institute of Health Science, for today's state-level virtual conference. She done her master degree in medical surgical nursing from DAVB University in the year 2007. She has completed her PhD degree from Krishna Institute of Medical Science, University, Maharashtra in the year 2018. Madam possesses total 17 years of teaching experience with 1 year of experience in clinical area also. Ma'am had participated and organized various national and international conferences, acted as examiner paper setter of different universities such as RDBB Jabalpur, DAVB Indore, Gujarat University, Ahmedabad, Sagar, Central University, MPMSU Jabalpur also. Master trainer for simulation based nursing education by INC. Presently, ma'am working as a principal, Jabalpur Institute of Health Science. On the behalf of Bombay Hospital College of Nursing, I welcome you, ma'am. Over to you, ma'am.
Hello,
Yes, ma'am.
can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
A very good afternoon to Amita, Vinci ma'am, all the Bombay hospital staff, college and hospital. It's my privilege to present in this platform. As I saw the topic that related with the nursing pedagogy, it being very interesting that this topic is very well related with our classes, students' experiences, our staff, what they are facing. So I'm really happy, and I hope you all will listen and you will relate, you will correlate that situation which we are facing. As we all are facing with the current pandemic situation, COVID-19. Can I have a slide, please?
Okay, ma'am. Just a minute. Ma'am.
That's not visible to me.
No, ma'am, I'm sharing the slide. Just a minute, ma'am.
Okay. So while the time that as we all are facing with the COVID-19 pandemic situations and being in academics and being in a position, see, we are like almost 16, 17 years I have been in this profession. And the situation which we are not only the nursing, that if the whole world are facing this situation, and as any other department facing a difficulty, we too, especially in being educating the students. It's not that to stop classes. If it is a matter of a week or month, it could manage, but it's almost 1.5 years over which we are facing with the situation. To cooperate, to change the teaching methods, learning abilities, conducting all programs, it's not that easy. But still now we are doing it and we are hoping for the best, and more strategies have to come. So I will just today discuss about few of the strategies which we can incorporate while we are dealing with the students, parents, and our faculties. Just where the whole world, including India, is passing through unprecedented difficulties time due to outbreak of COVID-19 pandemic. As all the universities and colleges are closed due to lockdown condition, and whatever government had contained the spread of crucial measures following the COVID-19. And it is also important for us to continue the educational process, making effective use of technology and other demand, which is required at present time. And we have to take a quick and appropriate decisions. Here we must be optimistic and we must do something, and we must have to progress forward for reinvent war again and engage the students in effective and constructive way. As the education system had suffered in all the areas, in all the department, in all the field, we are not excluded with the nursing education. Can I have the next slide, please? Yeah. So when dealing with the education, especially the students, especially when we are more on clinical practice side, where distance education is quite hard. How we can do it? Especially nursing education, which has constantly been associated with anxiety among the students. Heavy course load, state examinations, continuing pressure to attend and higher point, internal marks, complex interpersonal relationships, challenges in clinical environment, caring for the chronic and terminal patient. These and the assignment which they have to do, they are putting more of stress on the students as well as on the teachers to compile the assignments, to take the classes, to complete their syllabus on time. At present, during this epidemic, however, in this state, nursing students are exposed to additional stress. They don't have only have the stress of having educational classes, but they also have a fear of factors like being infected now as in current situation. As colleges are locked down, online classes were going on. Plus this, our senior students, final year students, they have
Excuse me, ma'am.
Hello.
Yeah, actually your voice are breaking, ma'am. It's not audible.
Now you are getting me?
Yeah, now.
Okay. So I'm
Okay.
discussing the nursing education and strategies for following up planning for academic year, the current situation. So here, as we are dealing with the nursing pedagogy, the new changes, what we are, maybe the online learning, all those one may would have uncoded later, but this current pandemic make us to deal with all these new technologies and to how to use all these things at an urgent basis. So the staff, even in my personal experience, my staff, how they are doing, how they are planning the classes every day, 3 to 4 classes or even more, or making a video, sharing videos, taking up the assignments, explaining it to the students. As Vinci ma'am is very nicely she explained about how she is managing with the hostel or college students. Next slide, please. So while planning for the academic year, we need to consider some points. So we're going to discuss with some consideration while planning for the academic calendar for the students beyond the COVID-19 pandemic, and to ensure that all the students receive inclusive and quality education. We must try to have at least the complete that all the students must assess the teaching learning. It's not only about the assess, but they should learn a quality education. So there are some points which I want to discuss about the planning of academic calendar. The first one is the consideration for planning in context of uncertainty, where we don't know what will the future. It may resolve within a few months or it may take years. So how we can manage it, how we need to plan it. So the first motto of that's as all the stakeholders, education stakeholders, that our mission must be very, very true to their mission and long-term goals. As all the students should realize that they are their education right, and every student must be reachable and they should have that access to education. Now, for having this as a being educationist, being an educationist and being a clinician, that is teaching students proactive gestures, quality of learning, provision of inclusive and caring education services, as well as keeping in mind the whole well-being of the student as well as their family and even the staff. So transforming pedagogy by developing more inclusive and flexible curriculum. Like what phase when we are having a face-to-face classes, here are we are more concerned on the topic that this topic should be covered in a this much hours. But as Farooq sir has discussed in online classes strategies, here when we are discussing, so just transforming that most easiest way that the student must understand their attendance plus their understanding that quality learning should take place. So instead of going with the syllabus topic covered, we should go with the classes, that's class by classes, or there should be flexibility. That's the assignment which have given. It's not mandatory that they have to do within a day or few days, or give them a time. Let the student have their own creativity for understanding, for presenting their assignments. Then consideration for assuring access to education for all. Next slide, please. Previous one. Yeah, this one. Consideration for ensuring access to education for all students. Here, access, that is whether it's a part of admission, dropout, preventive and supportive measure for students to return and to participate in education. That's how well we are doing. That being administrator, but will be the admission policy. Like previously, okay, we have a website, we are doing online admissions, but since last year, we are more focusing on website and online admission. See, more than 50% of my admission I took place through the online mode only. That's through the website, through the advertisement, and the students they have took the admission through the online application only. So previously it was a ratio of like 70 to 30%. This year, the last 2020, we have admission, more than 50% admission we have taken from the online mode. Then the students drop out, even the situation like if the student took taken that admission, but since last 1.5 year, we are facing a more or less same situation. So the chances of the student may drop are much more compared to the normal days or before the pandemic which we have. So here to keep engaged all the students, that we must have all the facilities must be available to the student. Then consideration for inclusive of quality learning. As I told, the quality learning is very, very important. We don't know if the online classes are as we all have experienced, the whether it's a matter of attendance or students have on their computer or laptop or the mobile, but the video is not on, so we don't know whether the student attentive or not. So what measures we are taking, that okay, from the end, that there should be a two-way communication. So in between the class, that when even I tell my teachers while you are taking classes, so keep your students engaged in between. If you have that space like managing in hostel or the classes, but when you are at home or the students are very from the remote area, sometimes there's a problem of data disconnection or availability of internet or data pack. So here in between, to availability of the data, availability of time and connectivity, so how they can do it, that connectivity in between, how they will engage the students to see whether they are getting exact study material or not. So in response, assignment in between, asking the question in between, engage them, taking a feedback is necessary for our quality learning. The next is consideration for ensuring well-being of student. It's not being a teacher, it's not only my responsibility, okay, just deliver the lectures, I have completed my topic and enough. No, here when we are discussing with the quality learning, the well-being of a student, even the staff, teachers and parents is important. As present with the pandemic situation, student may suffer, their family member or close relative or even with the faculty, they may experience the same problem. So their mental health and psychosocial support is important to have. So as when we will discuss with the strategies, we will discuss about how continuous contact with the student and with the parents is necessary, not only for the education, but to ensure the well-being of the students. Then last consideration is for the safe college for student staff. The near pandemic, if in if the college is unlocked, so what will be the situation? How we are planning that following COVID-19 guidelines, that whether social distancing, masking, classes handling, distance with the students, how they will go with the clinical, how will they perform their duties, or how they will attend the classes, or availability of simulation classes. All those we have to plan beforehand and follow the guideline as prescribed by the government. The next slide, please. Okay, so when we have discussed with those consideration while planning for an academic session, with those concerns, some of the strategies we can adopt for planning the classes for the student. Next, please. So continuation of teaching through the various modes. As in previous sessions, we discussed about the clinical practice, online classes, community involvement. So basically the biggest media at present situation we have with us to teach the student to have their quality learning through the online mode. That is online learning, either using a Zoom platform or using a Google Meet or WebEx or any other media, WhatsApp groups, social media, Facebook, YouTube, e-learning, e-material, video conferencing that are available to connect with the students. So these modes can use to contact or connect with the students, sharing the content, making a video, sharing the experience, taking up the assignment, involving students through these modes. The biggest platform which we are using it, like in our institution, we are mainly using like a Zoom or Google Meet or even in a WhatsApp, preparing a videos or sharing a video, having a student group are helpful to imparting the education. Next, in a view of importance of social distance, like even if there is a process of unlocking, so institution must be necessary ensure that students have an exposure to laboratory assignments, practical experiments. See, our nursing, which are basically based on a clinical way. So theory, somewhere we can, okay, through the online classes, explanation is okay. But how to deal with these laboratory experiments? That, as I told with my teachers, they're making a small video. Even suppose last time when I was taking a class about the neurological assessment. So neurological assessment is explaining in a class is not that simple, that to assess the neurological assessment. So I tell the students, I showed them some of the videos, I made myself the videos to how to do the neurological assessment. And I told my student that whatever visuals you are saying, that you in other with your siblings, your brother or sister or parents or your friends. So you can do that assessment in your friends or siblings. So you can assess the how to do the neurological assessment at where you are at the home. So if you want to teach some practicals, visuals, or we have a simulation lab in our colleges. We all the nursing colleges have their labs. So we can have the small videos through our labs and show to the students. And if possible, through a hospital, like if you're like the Bombay hospital, a big hospital where you have a clinical facility, you have your own hospital, we have our own hospital. So any other hospitals we can make a small videos, a real videos about the procedure, and we can share with the students. So that social distancing is maintained and the student will learn the clinical practice from the remote areas. The next slide, please. That every student must develop virtual classroom and video conferencing because it's a need of the hour. Contacting regular meetings among the staff and especially coordinator and their students. The virtual classroom should be there in each institution for video conferencing, for contacting, for having meeting, and for that the staff must be trained before this technologies to be used. Next. That every institution should prepare while delivering lecture e-content or e-lab experiments will upload the same on their website. See, many when we have started with the last year, even before that, we are through the journals, through the e-content, through the e-learning, we have many of the matter we can get through the internet. But now, as that was the supportive way, but at present we are 90% depend on the e-learning. So we need to hear institution can develop their own e-content, the development of videos about the clinical practice, video about the demonstration, classes, topics, and that we develop and we can share in our own website. So a student can access the website and have the experience of those lecture, even if they are absent through the classes or if they don't understand a particular topic. So they can have access those matter in our website. Next, please. Then institution should strengthen the mechanism of mentor and mentee counseling. That throughout the dedicated portal, either through using a website, a guidance and counseling of the students, beside the faculty advisor as well as the supervisor assigned to each student should maintain a regular communication with the as when we have a face-to-face communication. It's not student-teacher relationship is up to the class itself. There are many students facing a problem, either writing assignment or attending the classes or learning. So the teacher must be work as a mentor, as a guide, as a counselor to a student to explain each and every single thing. That online learning, where in classes we may not be connected with each and individual student, but online is teaching, there is it should be must to contact with each and every student. That coordinator or a specific subject teacher must have contact with the student to have a better education and to understand the student situation, how much they are getting, where we are lacking, how what problem every individual has. In every individual student has a separate problem. They may encounter, some may understand, some may not understand, some may have a data collection problem. There may be a financial problem because of a situation like lockdown. So financial burdens are over the parents also. So what is the situation of family or ever health issues? So here that the teachers, students must be contact beyond the classes. Next slide. So to overcome all the situation, that being a faculty should be adequately trained to use the information communication technology. It's a need of today's learning process. They must be very well acquainted and they should have a knowledge about the particular app, teaching material, how to use, how to share with the students, and how to give assignments, even conducting online exams. Before that, I don't know, before this pandemic, I have never conducted any online exams. I do attend in many online courses. We have the meeting, but conducting online exams for the students was new for us students for the last year. So before that, we have trained our staff, then we had developed our app, we developed the module, questionnaire, and we have delivered those questions to the student. So taking up so that for having this faculty must be trained in information community technology and try to complete about 25% of their matter through the online and the 75 through the face-to-face and following calendar year, if possible, depend on the pandemic situation. Next slide, please. So with the view of present scenario, what the condition we are facing and the future uncertainties, we don't know the condition, how it's going to progress, till what time it take to normalize. So with that education, we cannot stop the education activities. So with the education, we have to ensure the health and safety and security of students, faculty, and staff for continued academic activities by following a proper guideline and making it compulsory for all the staff, faculty, and students to follow that at the campus as well as wherever they are. Conducting an examination and declaration of result is one of the important part. Now, at practically we are facing that, as we are facing with the education problem, we are facing with the problem with the academic activities. So exams are also universities facing to conduct the exam. So conducting exam is again one of the issue, that whether it need to be done on the online basis or open book exam. So this process is going on. We may have exam that like any other universities are there doing through the open book exam or having online exam. We are also hoping for the same. Then facilitating the students to participate in further admission, placement process, and research training. See, in present, like fresher students, secondary students having online classes. What about the third year final students? So they have to conduct their research also, and they are worried for their placement also. So being a faculty, being a clinician, we have to provide a platform that after completion of your course, these are the time, even if they delay to the university or examinations are over. But in nursing, the students are getting an opportunities to work as a trainee or as a freshers in the clinical practice. So here the students are continuing contact with me. Even the day before yesterday, the JNM 30 students came to me that they have completed their course, result is over, but registration is pending, and they are getting opportunities even from the government hospitals to work. So there we are there to support them, and we should have that facilities, or we should have that communication to how to tackle the situations, and charting out the plan for the next academic year, that if the condition remains same, so we can have a continuity of the education through the online mode, and if situation normalize, we can have the face-to-face conversation with the COVID-19 guideline. So beyond this, having a classes, the security and electronic media. That not only these required for the students learning, we also have to connect emotionally. Next slide, please. It's not only we are connected, because anxiety, worried, fear of infection is much more among the nursing student compared to others. So while our faculty, when they are taking classes through any of the online media, instead of, or not instead, plus classes, they should have a continuous contact with the student. How can we relate to the student? How can we keep the student engaged? Not only physically, not only in a electronic mode or classes, but emotionally also. Because recent literature has shown that affect domain of learning and teaching is also important while we are imparting education. So email your students, remind that you are still there. You have to contact, if you're not in a classroom, but with either our online mode, WhatsApp group, through a personal chat, if you are in the group. So student may not have a phone number of all the students. So, or they may be shy to share or ask the question in a group. So personally, they can contact to their teachers to have or to clear out their doubts. Next slide, please. That next, please. Okay, like we discussed about the email your student, that remind that you are still there for them. Personally, if they have there any doubts, queries, or any health related problem, or even in the virtual, they can share with the teachers. Reflect on the notion of rigor and continue to challenge and support your students. See, reflection on the face to face, we may be strict with our students. You know how that these are the assignment, it's compulsory, yeah, they have to submit on it by tomorrow or day after tomorrow. But being on taking online classes, we have to be flexible. So here we need a balance between rigor and support. Where the situation, they not only need support, but they all somewhere we need to strict also. No. By the time you have to do this activity, but at the same time we have to understand the situation of the student, what he is facing. So here we have to have a balance between rigor as well as then we have to support the student in the learning process. Next, repeat some of the lessons you have taught in the class. Now my class is over, I won't be repeated again. You are absent, it's your mistake. If you are absent from the class, it's your fault. It's none of my responsibility. It's not like that. Being a faculty, when we are dealing with the student, especially in an online mode, there may be the chances the students not able to connect, or the time when you are in taking the classes for him or her is not able to connect. Maybe they have on a single laptop or single mobile at home, and they are 3, 4 sibling. So when repeat whatever lessons you have taken, especially for the students who are probably week, and you can personally mail them, or you can tell them like, remember what we have talked in yesterday class and what we have talked in the last class. So relation, to keep communication and repeating the class. The once is over, okay, when you are starting again in the next class, so okay, you want to just recap the class, that what you have taken in the last session, and go ahead. If they have any doubt, they may ask you. Then use hopeful and optimistic language. Hopeful and optimistic language, that is such as when you come back, hopeful and optimistic, when you will come back to a campus, or we are looking forward, you will come back to a session. So then there is a hope that you are going to meet, or there may be the session when they have opportunity to reconnect with the classes, or reconnect with campus, or reconnect with their classmates. Next, offer the opportunities to exchange phone number, like phone number, or we can have our chat groups, like we have an WhatsApp. So other groups we can have where you can have experience, you can share your experience. The students can share their weaknesses, their strength, their ideas. It's not necessary that only staff, only teachers can give an idea. The student can come up with the idea of learning. Don't ignore the elephant in the room. If possible, talk about the novel. Don't ignore the elephant in the room. That's a point like we are discussing. Last how I begin with the class about the general conditions. In between your class and discussion, like you cannot ignore the current pandemic. What is news are coming? Oh, how that spread of black fungus, white fungus. Now again it came a yellow fungus. So we are continuing with the handling the situation of COVID-19. Now the new one has came with the black fungus. And there are misconception, misinformation are sharing. This is because of that. This is because of that. Maybe oxygen concentrator or using a mask, whatever it is. So in between the class or while we are dealing with the students, clearing out those doubts or sharing the information or sharing news will clear out their doubt. So not only tackling with your topic, but knowing students what are their general information. If they have any news, if they have any misconception need to be cleared out, it will give us a more connectivity with the students. Next, let your students know that you are there for them, and if they need help to reach out to you, then a student must have that confidence that you are there with them. If they have any problem, if they need a counselor, if they are like madam had pointed out that if the students don't have any doubt, so their mental health is not sound. So students sometimes they have fear, or sometimes they ignore, or sometimes they don't like. So make your class interesting. Beyond your classes, connect with the student to clear out their doubt, and they should share not only their doubts but their personal problem. It's about the health and their class issues. Then ask each of your students how you can help them, like whether in wrongdoing or right doing, that what is right, what is wrong, and what they need to be do in uncertainty of unknowingly. That being a teacher, being a faculty, when we are dealing with the students, so clearing out, not only clearing it out, what is correct, what they need to do and make their priorities. Today's 4 classes. Okay, I have planned 4 classes a day, class after class. So this is one student may not be overburdened, and the teachers also have a communication between other teachers, other coordinator, that the teachers how much classes they have in a week, how much assignment they are giving, what a total number of classes in for a particular class, like basic first year, basic second year, or a final year. So 4 classes in a day, 2 classes in a day, 6 classes in a day, the gap between. So here that we have to contact and help the students to solve their problem, completing the assignment if they are facing with any difficulty to complete those assignments. Then continue contact with the student beyond, as I discussed it. It's a very, very important, especially in nursing, that the way we help the student during this period is to stay in continuous contact with the students beyond the online classes, because students are facing severe anxiety and economic uncertainty, as because of fear of health for their families, fear of infection, support, distance education. That distance education is very new for our students. They are not very acquainted with learning from a distance mode. So it's quite difficult for our students. So to keeping to not only to hide, but it's not a matter of hide. Okay, nahi aa raha, nahi karta. It's not like that. That when you're contacting with your students, you must have a continuous contact. If you have taken your classes, you have shared your e-contact with the students, it's not over. How much they have gained. Like one of my teachers, she is taking anatomy and physiology classes. So even after each topic, She asked a single question, like if she is explaining about the anatomy of heart. So she asked the student, okay, how many arteries are there? Or how many chambers in the heart? She needs response from each student. Remember, all individual student must respond her about her question. She take repeatedly she responses of the students what they responded each if a single student remains the response she asked again and again till all the students have not responded about her question. So here continuous contact with the students is necessary in classes and even beyond the online classes if they face any difficulty. So this is all about what we can plan for academic sessions through the current situation if it is continue on to the online modes, or beyond it if we are planning in academic sessions and unlock patterns so where we need to have us following guidelines of social distancing and masking and virtual meetings. So next slide please. Is we are near to close, we are near to end of the topic, that this pandemic has demonstrated a usefulness of online learning, not as an alternative to the classroom learning, but as a modality to infuse into a pedagogy that we are using this mode since 1.5 years. So it's not alternative. Now it's a mode how we can incorporate in your teaching learning process. The hybrid flexibility option, as it is a extended reality as well as a artificial intelligence, what we got through the online learning process, a flexible approach, as well as artificial intelligence. The answer we are getting from the student, we don't know whether he is giving or whether he is searching from Google or whether it's just an artificial mode. So we are far ahead from the primitive mode of using overhead projector or OHP, now online mode. So the COVID-19 pandemic, which has vaulted higher education several years ahead in the process of digital transformation and adaptation of online learning. Where in the current situation, in a current scenario, where we have a harsh light on our challenges, but also it brings an opportunities to the institution to clarify their purposes, and it's a sense of urge to 2021 that the education industries, the leaders, to solve those difficult questions, to move forward from the emerging from the pandemic, to restore, to evolve, and to transform nursing pedagogies, to have a better learning, a quality education to the students. So we may have better opportunities, we may get some of the more valuable or more permanent solution to this situation. So hope this topic is clear to everyone, that what I have with my own personal experiences and what strategies we can plan for the following years. All the very best for your future. And thank you so much for considering me for this presentation. If you have any doubts, this session is open.
Ma'am, this is a pleasure to meet you in this platform because you are sitting in Jabalpur and I am in Indore. There, I think we have met in one conference or some one meeting. I don't know whether you remember me or not, but we have got telephonic conversations. So it's a great honor for me because I still remember you were the youngest person in MP at that time who were pursuing PhD, because we were planning and you were the person who were pursuing PhD at that time. So it's an honor that we met again in this platform. The topic which you have addressed regarding academic calendar, now really, to be very frank, it's a big challenge because what we plan, it is not working, because every month the things are changing, and coronavirus, I will say, it's so smart that when it's impact get reduces when we say the count of COVID patients are reducing in hospitals and in community. So new things used to come up, like another challenge like black fungus. Then another day, like 2 weeks, when we read the newspaper, then it is been said that now in Pune, white fungus has came. And after 2 weeks, when people used to say yellow fungus, and when I was listening to Ramataneja ma'am, she was addressing it very nicely, like yellow, black, and so many. So it's like a challenge for which we are not prepared. And like we will say that when we always say that it's a learning phase, but actually it's a learning phase, because we don't know what to do. University don't know what to do, and our councils don't know what to do and how to implement the things. And every time they are sending notifications like, now we are extending this session, instead of October we will make it January session. Then after that we get another notification, now it will be from Feb session. And recently we got one INC curriculum notification regarding the pattern of conducting the examination, that the practical external examiner can be online and the internal examiners can conduct the examination for the students. So what in our curriculum committee meeting we have discussed various things. So I would like to share in this platform, because this is the platform where we share our experiences. So in our curriculum committee meeting, we have just looked back that what the lacuna we were having in the last year. So what we have observed, that there was a gap of 7 months, 18 days, because during that period the students were not there, and we have conducted online classes. And we came to a conclusion that various topics were there which can't be conducted through online. So we have done a nesting of those topics, like the topics which we can go only through lecture method, and that we have separated, and those topics which really need interaction, that we kept it separated. And when we observed that yes, the lockdown is extending, then we touched those things which it was our what to say, that we have to take those topics also. And we came to a conclusion that these 7 months, and I will say it's a blessing in disguise situation, that university has extended the examination, and it is like a blessing in this current scenario, because that 7 months get automatically extended. And they came up with a conclusion like we can start the session from February. So I will conclude that like October, November, December, January, 4 months we can cover up, because now the session has totally changed, like from Feb to January. So that 4 months, I will say we can minus it off. So now again, we have got 52 weeks, which we discussed with our curriculum committee, that now we will not going for 8 weeks vacation. We will not going for 3 weeks gazetted holidays. We will be utilizing complete weeks which are available for us, because again, we will be facing few COVID-19 pandemic. Like this year again, we have to declare vacation, or I will say leave to the students. So what we have done in our institution is that during this leave period, we are focusing only on those topics which can be easily handled by lecture method. Even if I talk about our psychiatry, we are focusing on community psychiatry, forensic psychiatry, like last units, then first few unit like ICD classifications. But the disease portion and the pharmacology portion, we have kept aside. And we are planning that our students will join by 7. So there we will going for complete clinical block rather than going for teaching. So in this way, we have done lot of modifications, and in advance we have informed the students' parents, because stakeholders has to be involved in planning, that we will not be giving you can't expect like Diwali vacation, Christmas vacation, all will be cut off from your things. You can't expect for gazetted holidays. This all things we will minus. And in this way, we came up with certain strategies and hope that it will be implemented and we will be successful. And second thing, like hours of clinical hours, which we were having partial block in our academic calendars, that we have covered with like complete blocks in terms of theory, because online classes are going on. So we concluded it as complete theory block. And now when students will join, we will proceed with complete clinical block. So in this way, few amendments we have brought, and we hope that this year we will be able to cover up. And we are thankful to the university and like extending the examinations, because it had turned into another benefit, because exams are late, we can cover up those gaps. But we never feel and we never pray that the exam should be extended, because it hamper the career of the students, because they are very much worried. Now there was a time when we were addressing like 4-year course should be completed within 4-year course, but the university, even Rajiv Gandhi University, everyone is saying that the academic years when the COVID pandemic was there, it has to be extended. So we are getting the time to cover up our courses, our syllabus, and we can plan in that way. And regarding the examination part, which is also a part of our academic calendar, in Maharashtra and Kerala, what I have observed is that when we had a talk with them, they said that they conducted their examinations and they made their own institution as centers, because too much movement of students, like moving from their own college and going to the center, there will create crowd. So rather than that, the teachers will be all COVID negative. They should undergo that test, and students should be COVID negative, and their center can be utilized for the same thing. The like individual, and you can have one supervisor allotted by the government college. They can go and they can, like we last year we were having like supervisors for our practical examination. So that type of strategies can be adopted, and this we can do in our university also. So this is the all thing which we feel, and we are previously in our pattern, we used to have 3 curricular meetings in a year regarding our academic calendar planning. But to be very frank enough, now we used to have every month regarding our curricular meeting, that what we want to do. So these are the things which COVID pandemic has brought changes in our mindset. And once again, I am very grateful to you, ma'am, for sparing your valuable time. And I extend my gratitude to the management also, that they have given me an opportunity to meet my friends, my seniors, my colleagues again in this platform. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Vinci ma'am. It's nice meeting you here and sharing the experience, how you are doing, how we are doing. It's nice.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
Thank you so much for having this opportunity to contact with the students, even the other faculties, those who are participating in this conference. Thank you so much once again, and stay at home, be safe. Good luck.
Thank you, Professor Dr. Shabana ma'am, Amita ma'am, Vinci ma'am. Thank you once again, speakers of today's conference, Professor Dr. Farooq sir, Professor Dr. Rama ma'am, Professor Shrija ma'am, and Professor Dr. Shabana ma'am. For answering question and for the great presentation. It was pleasure to have you with us. So this, I conclude the virtual conference. Thank you all for attending. We hope participant, you learn a lot, and definitely this will be a wake up call in this pandemic situation. I would like to conclude by admitting the thought, a good event never end in the world. They take us only a pause and keep us awaiting for the next. Once again, I thank you all. Be safe and stay healthy. Thank you all.